When making a digital breakout, the two main things that you need are content puzzles and then a Google form so that students can test their codes to see if they've broken the lock. So if you're looking at the example digital breakout that was given in the module, we're going to look at puzzle number 2 here. So this part up here that's showing the information with the clue here, this is the content puzzle. And then this Google form down here, this is the digital lock. So we're going to be focusing on content puzzles, what those look like, and different types of content puzzles. So when you're beginning to make content puzzles, there's two main things that you have to focus on. So first, your content puzzle should have one unique answer. So there shouldn't be multiple answers possible, just one answer, one correct answer that either requires letters, numbers, or a combination of that. So we don't really want like special symbols or anything like that. And of course, always follow copyright laws. So anything you're going to be using from the internet, any pictures, any videos, or anything like that, articles, make sure you're following the copyright laws. So there's a few different types of content puzzles that I'm going to touch on. The first one is word puzzles. So some guidelines for word puzzles. Make sure that your clues are indicated in the text by either highlighting, bolding, uppercasing, making them stand out in some other way. You can write the text just straight on the Google site if you want, or you can present it in any creative format. Like for this one, it's presented as like a fake email. Like the student is writing an email and there's certain letters that are bolded and blue. So this may be a little bit easy for older students. The letters that are highlighted here are E, O, D, and C. So if you take those letters, rearrange them to make a word, it makes the answer code. So this would be an example of a word puzzle. And you could use, this is just an email that was written up, a mock email with the letters shown. Another type of content puzzle would be a multimedia puzzle. So this would be including like a video or an article or a song that you would have the students watch, listen to, read. Make sure with these types of puzzles you're checking all copyright usage. If you're going to use a video, watch the video fully to check for appropriateness. So in this one, this is just a video of someone completing a jigsaw puzzle. So the code is jigsaw, but if you're doing like content for your classroom, you'll probably want a more a puzzle that, or a video or a song or something that has more to do with the content you're teaching, and then you can make the answer a little bit more. They have to actually listen or read to figure out what the answer would be. A really easy one to come up with is question puzzles. This is great for review. These are basically, you just come up with questions that are multiple choice, and then the answer is the correct answers here. So like the answer to this one is A, the answer to this one is B, and the answer to this one is C. So the answer to this content puzzle to unlock the digital lock for this puzzle here would be ABC. It just happened to be ABC for this one. Manipulatable puzzles. These are pretty fun. There's a couple important guidelines for these though. So I'm going to go ahead and show you an example, the one that I've linked here, and then we'll talk about the guidelines. So this one opens up to Google Slides, and we have some spaces here and then some words. It looks like these are digestive, and we've got arrows, so these would go in order. So basically, you would have to move them, turn them the right way, well, turn them the right way, and then move them over to the space here, and you'll find that like as you move them, there was actually like a hidden green font over there that reveals a code as you place them in the correct order, but they've got to be in the right order to get the correct code. So the correct answer to that one would have been 4217 if we had gone through and put these all in order here. When making a puzzle like this, make sure that anything you link, so this linked to a Google slide, I created it so it went straight to it, but you need to make sure that you've set it so that the viewer does not have editing access, because you don't want them to be able to edit the actual original one that you've made. It needs to be set on viewing access so that they have to make a copy. Always give instructions to make a copy, because if you don't give instructions, like this one, it's right on the puzzle here. They'll open it and say, you know, it's not working, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. They have to make a copy so that they can manipulate the pieces. So make sure you always give instructions. It's best to use Google Apps because they can just click make a copy and it pops up a copy for them. Google Slides is recommended because you can do so much with the colors, symbols, shapes, moving around. Easy to make a copy. Students know how to use Google Slides for the most part. And then our last type here is linked puzzles. So these are any puzzles that would link to a different website or a different online resource that isn't necessarily Google. Some important guidelines for this: make sure that students do not have to register or make an account to view your puzzle or to manipulate your puzzle. A lot of websites have terms, privacy agreements that people or users must be 13 years or older or have parent consent. So make sure they do not have to make an account. Also include instructions, definitely, and if possible, it may be better to include them on the button because students may not see the instructions there. This is the puzzle that was linked on the original example website, but basically once you put the jigsaw puzzle together, you've got a picture of locks that have a star on this green lock here. So like it's like 4 different locks once you get it all put together and everything. But then you see the little star on it, and that tells them that the answer is green. So there are a bunch of websites out here like this. This website that I created this puzzle on is, what is it? Jigsawplanet.com. You just upload an image and it'll make the puzzle for you, and then you just link it, and you don't have to have an account to manipulate the puzzle. There's so many other options out there. So feel free, when you're working on the content puzzle discussion post in this module, you have to come up with your own content puzzle. Feel free to do a Google search, find anything that wasn't mentioned here that you think is interesting, or if you like one of these options from this site here, use one of these, modify it to make it your own, and don't forget to do your discussion post. This site that I'm showing you right now, this content puzzle Google site, is available in the module right underneath this video. Thank you and happy content puzzling.